Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Sunday Brunch Club performing Utharian Legends. So, we've got a couple of guests here today. I want to go ahead and, real quick, before I introduce them, throw out a thanks to Jen, who wanted very much to be here, but received her second vaccine shot yesterday and was not capable of being here. And luckily, the wonderful Sarah has agreed to step back in as Talia so that poor Bigby does not lose his head any more than we're already expecting that to happen. And we are also joined by Her Royal Majesty Calliope Tide Runner, Retta Pettigrew herself, who is both kind enough to have helped out with this NPC in the first place and also willing to be suckered into an early morning game to portray her. So I can't possibly thank all of you enough for all of that. So we will go ahead. I'm going to let Retta and Sarah say hello real quick, and then we are going to jump right into the action. So I hope everybody is ready to go. So Retta, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us where we find you, and we'll go from there.
Okay, my name is Retta Pettigrew, and you can usually find me as a cast member on the podcasts Loot and Dagger and Stellar Arcanum. Unfortunately, both of them are on an extended hiatus due to COVID because we normally record in person because we have an actual studio set up for that. But we're working on solutions so that we can begin recording again soon. In the
And
meantime, I occasionally post on Twitter at Retta Pettigrew.
Sarah.
Hi, Sarah B. Strange here. I float around the internet. I just pop up for appearances every once in a while. If you want to know where you can find me next, you can follow me on Twitter at Sarah B. Strange.
All right. So normally we start our episodes with an early morning in the Cross Keys with breakfast and everything else. But this morning is a little bit different because in Dawn's Harbor, justice is dispensed at dawn, which means the summons came probably about 2 to 3 in the morning to let everybody know that not only did they have to be awake and moving at dawn, they had to be in their finest for a royal audience at dawn. And if our adventurers are anything like me, I can only imagine how well they took that news. But on the plus side, we can open up in the palace, a remarkably simple building, all things considered, just because the building was originally created from the expectations of a House 4 Cole Tide Runner himself, who was the captain that helped found Dawn's Harbor. The building and its grounds have expanded over the years, obviously, and much more resemble a palace or a castle these days than they certainly did at the beginning. But even still, as with most of humanity's architecture, it is a fairly simple and Spartan sort of setup. The palace grounds do have its own wall, but there are buildings in and around it, and there's also the river that passes through it, so that makes it relatively simple to get in and out. The front gate facing down to the south and having a nice even path leading into the building itself. The audience chamber, which our heroes have already been in once, is a large and fairly stately affair with a pair of thrones that are made from the wood of the ship that brought the refugees first to Dawn's Harbor in the first place. And as such, it is a relatively understated sort of seat. But even still, the palace is well appointed and well made, even if it is of a relatively simple material. The trial of Drotar the Slaver, is where we will be opening up here. And I want to go ahead and reiterate for folks, this story is going to touch on topics of forced slavery, among other not good and kind things. And as a result, well, we would love to have everyone here and watching along. If that is something that is going to be trouble for you, please hop off. We'll be happy to recap you later. If there's any concern at all, you can DM me on Twitter directly, and I will tell you what happened without any of the nastier bits, so that you can enjoy the story going forward. Mental health and self-care is more important than watching live today. We'll have a content warning that is going in the chat as well. That will happen every so often, so you don't have to worry as far as that goes if you miss this part. But just in case, the content warning is out there, and we will go ahead and get started. I will let the party describe what, if anything, they are doing differently getting up and moving to the palace this morning. And we'll start with Gloriosa.
So, do you want me to start with, like, testimony, or?
Well, I was going to start with, I assume that Gloriosa is dressing somewhat differently for a palace appointment of this sort of thing. I mean, if you want to give a testimony about your fashion, you can, but I didn't think she was quite that level.
I will absolutely testify to my fashion sense. Yes, I will. So yeah, definitely Gloriosa is dressed very up. Has gone and gotten like a special dress for the occasion. Has definitely dressed in kind of more jewelry than normal. And the dress is it's floor length, and it's kind of closely tailored, and it's a lot like what I'm wearing right now. Really fine material that is very swishy, because swishy material is just definitely love. So just trying to look her best today, and all smiles, despite the subject matter of the trial. Like, just super thrilled to be going to the palace, to be honest. So that's it. That's it.
All right, and Lunez, are you dressing any differently or preparing any differently?
I don't think so, because Lunes really doesn't have anything fancy. He just has literally what he has right now. But I might be able to prestidigitate tiny stars all around my my coat.
Absolutely. All right, and Robin.
Oh, Robin is definitely dressing up this morning. He is wearing some of the shiniest, shimmery gold pants. His boots are not his normal black boots. He has put on some white boots with gold buckles on them this morning. Very much out on the town kind of boots. Then he's got a red tailcoat that he's wearing, and a lovely ruffled white shirt underneath. And the red tailcoat has a lot of gold embroidery and embellishments on it. Robin is 100% wanting to shimmer, shine, and dazzle as he meets the royals again.
All right, and Alma.
Sorry, my mouse didn't want to work with me. I think Alma, with being as much of a minimalist as she is, will just make sure that everything is clean and put together, and that she is able to attend. She's met with the queens before in this outfit and figures it is good enough for this as well.
Seems like a reasonable conclusion to make. And Sobis.
Sobus is not dressed any differently, but spent the previous night late into the early hours of the morning sharpening his axe, and was up at the just super early, ready to go. Not really in a good mood, but like he knows what's happening, and he's excited for that to happen.
All right. Then we will go ahead and move our scene directly to the audience chamber. Presiding over the situation, of course, is the Queen Tide Runner herself, Calliope. There are a number of guards. Ilmare is present as the captain of the guard. Queen Consort Calliope is abed, feeling not well, but the rest of the court officials are there. And Talia is also present, as she also received a summons, being part of the whole capture process in the first place. So that works out rather well. And we will go ahead and start as the slaver Drotar walks in. He is clapped in chains. He is prepared and bound in ways to make it obviously he's obviously a prisoner, but most of his countenance makes it seem like he is more political prisoner or high-ranking war prisoner than someone who has committed a crime and is being brought before a court of justice. Very much the attitude of someone who is aware that they have been beaten, but recognize that this is not generally where the game ends. A court herald straightens up and announces that Her Majesty Queen Calliope Tiderunner is presiding over the dispensement of justice this morning, and that the 5-point strike have been called in to give testimony as to the criminal's behavior and any additional information that might make the meeting of justice as precise as possible.
Very good. Of the 5-point strike, who would like to speak in regards to the capture?
Your Majestic Highness. For the purpose of the court, I am Robin Wayfair, leader of 5-point strike, and my team intercepted an abduction in progress here in our very streets, good ladies and gentles, and those of non-conforming. You see, the lovely vision, Talia, was found in a bit of peril, a bit of distress in our streets, and upon capturing the ruffians, upon apprehending these villains amongst us, we were able to glean the information that their master was none other than Drogo himself. That is when we pursued him to the docks, and with the slight help of the thrice-blooded Scourge, were able to apprehend him and bring him before your grace.
Is there anyone who would speak on behalf of the captive?
Drotar himself sort of straightens up and states, Your Highness, I would speak for myself if it would be allowed.
And what could you possibly have to say in your defense?
Well, I suppose the best would be I'm not truly speaking in my defense. For what it is worth, the allegations as made by the Bard are accurate enough, and I can freely admit to having been participating in the procurement of unwilling labor, both on this continent and off. What I wish to say is less a defense for my actions and more an explanation, perhaps, that might make the court decide somewhat differently as to what comes next.
You would ask for clemency
No,
after attempting to kidnap one of my citizens.
not clemency, no, ransom money. I am employed by the Empress of the Bloody Chains. She is an ancient red dragon of the Dragon Isles to the west. She will pay 10,000 gold coins for my safe return.
Well, thank you for telling me who you're employed by without me having to torture it out of you.
There's no need for torture.
I appreciate that very much. Could you tell me other members of your chain of command?
Well, I report
Since you
directly
seem
to her.
Oh, good.
You don't get to be worth 10,000 coins unless you're reporting directly to the lady herself.
Okay.
I can tell you some
and
of
if
the
I send
others.
her only your head?
She'll resurrect me.
Hmm.
And she'll be cranky because it's a lot more than 10,000 gold to resurrect me.
Mm-hmm.
She'll probably also kill me again because she'll be pretty pissed. She doesn't really take that sort of thing real well. I mean, I'll probably end up alive at the end of it, but it's going to be a pretty painful trip for me. I recognize that that's not really a concern of yours. I'm just letting you know.
Lunes raises his hand.
Yes.
Technically, you cannot be resurrected with 10,000 things because what was the spell again, Alma? That was the no, wait, never mind.
Oh no, I think it's way more expensive than 10,000 coins to resurrect me. I think that's why she sets the ransom as high as it does. It's cheaper in the long run.
Your Highness, if I may.
Go ahead.
Do we not live and breathe and love in Dawn's Harbor specifically to be out of reach of dragons? What was our freedom? What was our flight for that our forefathers took, that your ancestors took? If we are simply message boys and carriers to send their refuse back to them when it lands on our shore.
Oh, I certainly will not be sending him back. That will not happen. The question remains what to do with him. There will be no ransom. There will be no negotiation with any slaver. Our kingdom was founded by escaped slaves. Do not think that I have forgotten that.
Oh, not at all. Not at all, Your Grace. Merely for the pleasure of the court, do I dispel this piece of trash's foul words and poison to the mind, lest any among us forget just what kind of creature he has become.
George Hart looks not annoyed, but almost bemused at Robin's speech, but otherwise will remain quiet.
Would she come looking for you, slaver?
Well, yes and no. She's a paladin, so she'll probably just scry. She doesn't have to go anywhere, but she might stop by on her next purchasing. Normally, she does these sorts of purchases herself in person.
Where?
She was here.
Where here?
Well, your docks, just south of the city. There are all sorts of places where.
How often?
She was probably last here 6 or 7 months ago, maybe a little more.
And when is she due again? When were you to deliver the next shipment?
Oh, we were going to be sailing any day now. As far as when she's next coming out, a lot depends on the project she's working on. I'm only here because she was too busy to leave the Isles herself. She normally prefers not to let underlings deal with this sort of thing.
How many underlings are there operating in my kingdom?
Oh, I couldn't even begin to guess. She has hosts in the tens of thousands of individuals, so my guess would be probably at least a dozen active agents in and around here, if not more.
Do you
I
know
don't
who
know.
they are?
No. She's smarter than to keep that sort of information that broad. I know the people that I work with, and they've all already boarded on a ship and left as soon as I got captured because they know better than to stick around for this.
DM,
Yes,
might I make an insight check?
you sure can. Everyone can if you would like to go ahead and get some insight on this.
Oh.
I'm also wondering, like, how much of this is knowledge for somebody who grew up around trade and the docks? Like, how much do I know about this? Is this news to me?
It's at least somewhat news. It's the sort of thing that it's not ultra super secret, but it's also not the best hidden. It's the sort of thing that it's like your black market dealer in the pie shop. If you really are the sort of person who would know those sorts of things, you know where to find him. He's a businessman. That's what he does. If you are the sort of person who would be shocked to hear that gambling was going on in this establishment, then you probably had no idea that he was there in the first place. All right, let's see here. We have some truly mediocre insight checks. Do you guys want to let me know what you rolled?
I rolled a 25. Well, I rolled a 16 plus 9.
Yeah, Calliope's pretty insightful.
It also seems
a
my
12.
camera's frozen.
Yes, your video is frozen. Sobus rolled a 3.
I got a. Go ahead. I got a natural 1, but since I'm a halfling,
You got to roll it again.
Oh, yeah.
that didn't. Well,
So a 17.
yeah.
That's not bad. So both Lunez and Calliope will have no trouble finding this out. Robin, are you rolling as well?
Robin is having a hard time getting roll 20 to accept his rolls from D&D
So
Beyond.
just roll me a die.
Okay. So, well, the die I rolled in the in D&D Beyond was a 15.
Perfect.
Said.
And what is that? What do you add to that? Because
That's with my that's with my
with your bonuses. Okay, so yeah, you'll also get this as well because 15 was your target here. So at 15, Drotar is remarkably calm for a man that is potentially facing his death. Nothing that he is saying is anything that he believes is anything other than the truth. Whether or not she will actually do anything to help him or aid him or the like is something else. But he absolutely believes everything that he's said so far.
Okay.
Robin will point at Talia, trying to do it very discreetly to where no one's seeing that he's sending message. And Robin will point at Talia and say, "Dear, if you received any extra information from your reconnaissance before you were caught, now would be the time."
Talia doesn't say anything back. She just
Lunas is just gonna wave at Talia. Cookie. No.
Well, then Robin will point to Sobus and cast a message again. Sobi, I know that this is a delicate situation. If you don't feel like speaking, by all means, don't speak. But if there's anything you have to say about this organization, now might be a good time while the queen gives her ear.
Sobus kind of takes a second. Your ladyship.
Yes.
What is to become of this person?
I'm still deciding.
May I?
Speak freely.
I would very much like to kill this person.
Personally.
Personally.
Could you share why?
I have personal ties with his organization. It would make me feel a lot better if I could dispatch him. You see, your ladyship, I was under the heel of this organization for most of my life. I escaped to this wonderful country, but my fear for these people still remains, and I don't want to be afraid anymore.
I understand.
Alma's gonna scoot a little bit closer to Sobus and just like put her hand on his arm and just do the little screechies.
His leg gets a little weird. Does the...
Lunas is just gonna reach for Sobus's hand.
Talia, do you have any idea why you were targeted?
Your Majesty, I was attempting to get information. I'm a traveler. I saw the camp and I thought I could find out more about what was happening there. And they saw me before I could get information. I ran and they chased me down.
Okay.
I regret that I have no more information to give than that.
There are more operatives throughout our city that must be hunted down.
I believe so. Yes. Yes, Your Majesty.
Robin points at the queen and casts message on her and starts by saying, "My sincerest apologies for the breach of etiquette, Your Highness. However, I can 100% assure you that if we send this rat back to its hole, 5-point strike is more than capable of tracking and bringing back to you more of his cohorts. Sobus, of all people, will love the hunt."
I will not release this man.
Was that out
Not
loud
for a
or in
moment.
message?
That's out loud.
Okay. Robin backs up a little and looks around ooh, he just got exposed. No one knew he was talking to the queen, but now, oops.
Yeah, don't play games with fellow bard.
Apologies. Discretion among those seeking justice is all, Your Grace. No disrespect intended.
I will not release this man.
Of course not.
I will employ a 5-point strike to hunt down other slavers in our kingdom. I want them all gone. And I want you to keep an eye on the docks. And the next time that monster comes for a pickup, I want you to kill it. And if you can't do it alone, I will send whatever help is necessary.
Your Grace,
This is not acceptable, and I want the message sent.
to be clear, I am not ruler, am not dictator of 5-point strike, but merely the leader of our band. So I need to know, is this an edict? Is this a command from Your Highness, or is this a contract? Because before we accept, I would have to confer with my colleagues. But if this is your royal command, then it appears our course would be set.
I will pay you.
Then I request permission to meet with our company and discuss the terms and the strategy about which we would carry out your will, Your Highness.
As an additional part of your payment, I would give Sobus the title of temporary executioner.
There is no greater honor, your ladyship.
Thomas, are you sure about that?
And Sobus kind of thinks a little bit. He's like, "Wait, what did I just say?" Is that only in relation to these types of people, or do I have to do it like all the time?
No, you don't have to do it all the time.
Okay.
You may execute any slavers that you capture,
Yeah.
including this one.
All right. Then, yes, there is no greater honor.
In the meantime, guards, if you would return this one to his cell, his execution will be at dawn tomorrow. If your group accepts, Sobus will be the executioner.
Then with Your Grace's blessing, we will take our leave to confer in private.
You have until dawn tomorrow.
Lady Talia, you are more than welcome to join us, seeing as you have earned a stake in this particular matter.
Very well.
And Robin bows before the queen, turns to the group with a "oh shit, we in it now" look, and gestures to the door.
Would anybody like a cookie?
Alma's gonna put her hand on Lunas's back and guide him out the door.
Grotar tries to take a cookie, but is sort of dragged off by the guards. Mutters something about "can't even get a cookie before I die." Jeez, this is an
They are really
uncivilized
good
place.
cookies.
My eyes do not leave Drotar until he is out of the room.
Yeah, Sobus, for somebody who is going to be executed, he seems remarkably nonchalant about all of it.
Yeah,
I mean, he seems really calm.
That is terrifying. That is
Yeah.
exactly why.
All right,
and then
well,
after he's gone, then we leave, I guess.
so I suppose there is a room.
Oh yeah, there are conference rooms and such that you guys can easily retire to and discuss.
So Robin finds the first unoccupied conference room adjacent to the throne room. Gestures for everyone to go in. As soon as everyone is in the room, Robin closes the door behind us and locks it and then says, "Well, team, this might be our biggest job yet from none other than the royals."
Yeah, excuse me. Did she just tell us to kill an ancient red dragon? Like, were you guys in the same room with me?
May it preserve us.
I'm pretty sure that's on the list, yeah.
I would imagine that is part of the task.
To be clear, the task was to find the red dragon should she reach our shores, and the queen would want her killed before she's allowed to leave. Now, the queen also let us know that the full guard of Dawn's Harbor is at our disposal for this task. So by no means do I ask any of you to take a struggle against a red dragon on our own. However, if the queen is ready to loose the full force of her kingdom against this red dragon, we just might be the tipping point. This
is a suicide mission.
This is not one of our usual hires.
It's not.
This is us leading essentially a war battle with the army against a dragon.
She's not just a dragon.
I understand. This is I'm not telling you we should. I'm not telling you we shouldn't. I am laying the cards out on the table, but I would be remiss if I didn't draw attention back to our friend Sobus. Note that he is not a young boy. These slavers have been on our shores operating since he was young. They are still here. The flight of the humans from the dragons hasn't ended. We haven't effectively escaped if they're still snatching our people. This very likely could spark the next human dragon war. However, I would like you to consider if the war is not already here.
If you're going to do this, you should know the rumors. She isn't just a dragon. She's a paladin. And there's tales that she wears the scales of good dragons that she has defeated. She's a nasty one.
Hey, DM.
Suicide.
Yes.
Have I heard anything about this?
Give me a history check.
Entity. Oh, great.
I would like to do one too, please.
By all means.
That's an 18 from Sobus. I rolled a 19.
There you go.
I tried to do a history check and rolled a nat 1. So 4 total.
Oof.
You're not 100% sure dragons exist. They're probably a myth.
I rolled Arcana for no reason, but my Arcana bonus is the same as my history bonus, so let's count it.
Sure.
I got a 10.
So Robin rolled a 17 here, so Robin knows a little bit about what's going on.
Okay. So the Empress of the Bloody Chains is a figure that is known to inhabit the Dragon Isles to the west. She is one of 5 legendary chromatic dragons that rule over those isles. She is the red. She is one of the nastiest of them. She's a paladin. Among the others are the Siren of the Sky, a blue dragon cleric, she who walks on the water, a green dragon warlock, the Tyrant of Glass, a white dragon fighter, and the Black Lady, a black dragon eldritch knight.
Wait, so there's not there's not just the one. There's
5.
all of them, and they're all ancient dragons.
They're all ancient dragons. They mostly live in the West. They don't generally come to this continent. The only 2 that are known to have come to this continent are the Black Lady and the Empress, and both of them come for the same reason, which is purchasing slaves.
Got it.
Is this freaking Tiamat?
No, the Utharia doesn't have a Tiamat figure. Tandos is the dragon of stone that is the evil dragon god. It is formed of various gemstones and colors, so it has all 5 colors in it, but it's not like a 5-headed dragon like Tiamat is.
Okay. Well,
That's even.
Yeah, that changes the calculus a little bit. Okay, and I would have never seen any of these before.
At most, you might have seen one of them like at a distance at a big ceremony sort of thing, like, oh, about a mile that way is the dragon sitting on her throne there. You know, like coronation or an inauguration sort of thing where you are in a massive crowd of people and they are in there and in person, but for practical intents and purposes, you may have been watching on TV.
Yeah.
To be fair, Talia, by all means, for any of us, for all of us, to challenge an ancient red dragon would, I agree, be an invitation for death. However, that is not what the Queen has asked of us. She has asked us to root out slavers on our shores, and if we encounter the Empress of the Bloody Change, which admittedly is a possibility if Drotar is being honest, we are to call upon the full might of Dawn's Harbor to end her. At that point, at any point, any of us could retreat. Any of us could withdraw and decide this is not a war we want to be in. However, I know at least one of you is very keen on making sure that we stay heroes. And are heroes going to turn around and not be the arm of justice when the Queen requests it?
I'm not saying that we shouldn't be heroes, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't do what the Queen has asked. However, there's way too much coincidence, Robin. We're talking about a red dragon, and then the other night I had a dream about the Black Lady and she who walks on waters. This is now 3 dragons that we've heard about in the past day.
So, does that not mean that we should take action, that we shouldn't get ready? What, denying this contract, going back to just walking back to the cross keys, tails between our legs, looking for the next meager score? Will that stop the Empress from slaving? Will that stop the dragons from coming? No, they'll just catch us sleeping. Glory, you're awfully quiet.
But if we start this, we could start a chain reaction. In this dream, Robin, they destroyed the academy. Destroyed it. Like it was nothing. There were no spells. There were no defenses. Destroyed it. If we take her out, if we piss her off bad enough, she could rally her forces and that dream then becomes a reality. I'm just saying we need to think through this very, very carefully and make sure that we are doing it safely and for the right reasons and not just because of revenge. And Sobus, I know you want your revenge. I can feel it just vibrating off of you. However, do we want to potentially risk the lives of everyone on this island if we don't do this safely?
Let me offer just a little bit of insight here. Dragons, particularly of the not me variety, don't really care about anyone's life other than themselves and the shinies that they have. I think that the the little pissant that we captured, I think he thinks too highly of himself. I don't think that these ancient entities are going to be so quick to anger about losing some of their followers. I know they're somewhat vain, some more than others. However, we're talking about the end game. That's a long way off, especially for 5 ancient dragons. Yeah, if we see one, we run. No chance in that fight. However, I don't think it will come to that.
So whenever we've run to the defense of somebody in town, it's usually because the guard is very late and very slow. And they're always showing up to help us clean up the mess. So I don't think we can count on them. So if we do this, I'm not finished. If we do this, we're not going to have help unless we rouse it ourselves. I think my mother comes from a line of former slaves. And I think these people have enslaved humans that left their islands for long enough. So I think that we should at the very least make it far too expensive and annoying for this red dragon to come to Dawn's Harbor to buy her slaves. And I think we should rouse every ally that we've made in that effort. And I think we should do it. And we should do it because this is our home and she needs to stay the hells out. And that's what I think. Now I'm finished.
Beautiful. Glory, you surprise me and leave me in awe daily. You're right. The daily patrols of the guard are not adequate to keep our streets safe. Otherwise, Talia would have never needed us. The Queen's army may be good enough to keep the borders where they are, but apparently not to keep the threats away from home.
If there's as many ancient dragons as how many are there? Is it more than 2?
We have 5 counted,
Yeah,
Sobi.
That's more than 2. I'm not so hot on the numbers. But even if we had the army for just 1 ancient dragon, that's not enough.
You're very right.
There's no, as we are right now, we would die immediately fighting that fight. What I'm saying is that fight is a long way in the future. What we're talking about is dealing with the people they have here now. I don't think that they care about the lives of the people they have here.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Sobi. And so are you, Glory, which gives me a beautiful idea. We love Sobis, and we know that they have hurt him beyond words. So we have more than enough reason to push back against the shit stains in our own city. We also know that our families have fought against these kinds of evils for generations. And so we know that the people of our city would like to stamp this out as well. But correct me if I'm wrong, Alma. This doom to the academy, this doom to our mages, that's not just in the stakes of humans. I believe elves, dwarves, people of all stripes here in all of Utharia would have some stake in seeing that preserved. And then, of course, Lunas, my lovely dear friend, the very stars themselves may be calling out for our help to finally push back against these oppressors. This is not just to rally Dawn's Harbor. This is not just to rally and bolster the forces of the Queen. This might be the time to reach out from Dawn's Harbor, strike out to the other cities of Utharia. We might have a reason to bring more force, more sight, more awareness, and more unity through this common enemy. Now, with that being said, I recommend we accept the Queen's contract to root out the evil people here. Deal with them as she justly seems fit. But the more we learn, the more we'll know to carry on to the other cities adjacent to us. Travel the trade roads again. There might, dare I say it, be help in the desert for us if we find out enough of what's happening here. I will not tell you this is not dangerous. I will not say that that I can be sure we're not walking straight to our end. However, if there was something to fight for, more than money, this just might be it.
Robin,
I'm
you
going
never
to
fight for anything more than money. I'm gonna just sort of break the tension if I can by sort of inserting.
Yes, I said it. There's a short list of things worth fighting for more than a payday, but I think this one would have to be on it.
Yeah, it really is very unsettling how much of an upstanding citizen you're being right now. It is quite off-putting.
Push.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We're really
Okay, fair,
really
all
proud
of you. All of you, okay, we can hug this out later over a pint. I promise I promise I am not going completely soft on you. However, at some point, there's enough anger here to overwhelm my, let's call it ambition. But it seems like there's enough here that you can all make a decision. And to be clear, no one say anything here. No one speak. I'm just going to tell you, I love you. And if you choose to walk away, you can walk away. But Sobus, seeing as the Queen's offer primarily falls on you, I say you cast the first vote.
Well, before, let me just say one more thing and then I'll cast my vote. We're not signing up to immediately take on 5 ancient dragons. This is going to be a journey. It'll be a long time before they're pissed off enough to do anything about it. And while that's happening, we're learning about what they're doing. I mean, I'm not, but you all are. But it'll be a while. We're signing up for the journey, not the end game just yet. With that said, let's kill these bitches.
Sobi, I couldn't agree with you more. So my vote is with the Dragonborn.
Alma?
Before Alma casts her vote, she's actually going to make an Arcana check. That was a 10 plus 4, 14.
Okay, what would you like to know?
Just want to know. I don't know anything useful. I don't know. My brain's not working today.
Well, one of the things that Alma might note from that is that red dragons are fire-based. So having preparing the town and the guard for fire attacks would probably help them with dealing with the dragon should it come to the shores. And also recognizing that like flaming arrows and the like aren't going to do anything worth bothering with. Most dragons don't have vulnerabilities in the same sense, although almost all dragons have the same vulnerability, which is that they are big and they're not like nimble as a rule. Almost all of them have natural armor and the like, but when it comes to dealing with their dexterity, they're not very good. So anything that can hamper their dexterity or attacks them in that sense is going to be more effective and efficacious than something that attacks them in their constitution or their strength.
Okay. Alma's going to look at Robin and say, I swear to all the gods, if you get me killed or anyone else in our party killed during this, you're going to wish the only thing I do is flick you in your damn ear.
We know the risks here.
She's going to lean up against the wall, cross her arms, and say, fine.
Nobody's gonna die. Not while I'm around. And I want to be a hero. That is what I really want to do in life. But I can put that aside for Sovis. If Sovis wants to do this, I'm with Sovis. I'm sorry, Alma. I love you, sister, but
You don't need to apologize to me. You are a grown person of your own volition.
I'm with Sovis.
Going to make sure that somebody's going to keep you guys in line. She's going to half smile and
I just reach for your hand.
she'll take it and squeeze it.
Ow.
Well, obviously my vote is yes. So I guess we'll probably need to make some adjustments to the standard contract.
Wait,
So-
what about Talia? Talia?
Talia, you have seen enough of this matter with us for us to consider you an honorary member. Even if it does ruin the name of 5 Point Strike, we consider you an honorary adventurer with us on this particular cause. However, I know you have your own loyalties, your own allegiances, your own people, perhaps even to prepare. So you don't have to give us your answer in this moment. We are held accountable to the Queen the moment we walk back before her throne. The invitation is open for you to accept today, tomorrow, or any of the days between now and the inevitable conflict.
This much I will say now. I will help you where and when I can. That is what I can promise for now. But
That's more than fair.
I will urge extreme caution. Just as a whole.
Don't worry.
The dragons have eyes and ears everywhere.
And we have an Alma.
I don't believe we've met, actually. Hello, Alma.
Oh, that's true.
Yes. Talia, Alma, Talia.
You spoke of caution. We have one. Alma is our one caution.
See,
It is a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure.
Don't worry, Talia. Most of us were tongue-tied when we met Alma.
Alma's just gonna shake her head.
Oh, I still am just nervous. I wasn't expecting to be roused that early in the morning and expected to come here. Like, she is dressed the same way she was before. Like, the same armor and robe and everything like that. I don't have other things, and it's not like shops were open at 3 in the morning.
And it was so
Oh my
early.
God.
It was very early.
To be fair,
It is pretty early.
I can think of many better reasons to be roused early in the morning. However, this one in particular, we had no way of refusing. So again, very thankful that you came along to put this lowlife in his place.
Couldn't stay away.
Talia,
Oh, I've heard
Yeah.
that before.
Of course
don't
you
feel
have.
pressured to help us. We will take it when and where you're available to give it, as you said. I did just receive a sending, Robin.
Do tell, sweet.
Apparently, one of the Druidic Circle from Nibiri. They are sending a Tisha Bryfir to help us, should we need it.
Oh,
Who?
a mercenary.
What are they sending?
They're sending a mercenary. Who
Interesting.
hired her?
Do you know her?
I know them a bit. Let's say I've done a job or two with Tish. Okay. So they've hired Tish.
Yeah, that sounds like future talk, and I think we have her ladyship waiting on us.
Yes, of course. But take heart, team. You wanted help. And I think help just came.
She's on her way.
Now, I think, I don't know, what else we have planned for the day after we're out of character, out of game. I don't know what else we have planned for the day after we go talk to the queen and accept her contract, but I believe that was a good use of any of inspiring leaders, so I think everyone's going to get 8 temporary health points.
I was about to say if you just inadvertently used your mantle of inspiration for that speech earlier.
Nope, inspiring leader has just kicked in, I believe, because I think we have all agreed that we are accepting the queen's contract, and it's 6 people, including myself. So Talia, enjoy 8 temporary health points as well.
Heyo.
Yay.
All right.
How long?
So I'm just gonna.
How long do those last?
they last until the next short rest. So.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just gonna look at Talia and Talia, you look amazing. I mean, I love your armor. I can do the old. I can clean it up for you, and do the Lunes experience, which is, I can
Ooh,
clean it,
ooh,
and
phrasing.
Lunas,
yes,
maybe we don't call it specifically that next time.
but that's what
Even
that
I,
what
even I
No, no.
picked up on that one.
No, that's the perfect name. I like that name.
No,
Call
no,
it
no,
keep
no, 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 no.
The
No,
Luna's
I like-
experience. It is.
It's canon. It's canon now.
Anyway, let's go.
I okay.
Hey, honey, you're pretty, and I love you.
Oh boy. Moving on. We're leaving the room.
Fair enough.
Sobus leaves the room. Oh god.
Well,
that was amazing.
with that, Glory, be ready for some contract negotiations with Her Majesty's nobles. However, I believe we've left her waiting long enough.
Yeah, so as we're walking back out, I'm going to be like kind of talking sotto voce to Robin, like, okay, try to get her to cover all of our equipment expenses, and we would like a daily retainer, and like start high.
Of course, I know this. We have to build in the threat riders. Let's call it threat riders. As the threat increases, our funds will have to increase. Of
Perfect.
course. Thank you.
Is Glory just scribbling on a contract as we're walking?
Like, yeah, like probably on Robin's arm, like, okay, and then we have to, and then like.
Love it.
I figured you'd use Sobus's back.
I was about to say, Sobus has a whole back.
An
One or the other.
entire back.
It's like
Whatever
2.5
is
Robins.
closer. Whatever is closer, whether it's Lunas's like head or Sobus's knee or Robin's arm, like she's probably got a habit of like putting the parchment against whatever is to hand and then just scribbling. So the rest of the party is probably just used to feeling on their back.
Sobus will just hold his tail up and just
I feel like
be
Lunas'
a desk
head
while
is more-
moving. There we go.
Lunas's head is more of like a bedside table, whereas Sobus's back is like the dining room.
Love it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. A contract has been scribbled.
As we re-enter the
throne room.
Queen Calliope.
Back already.
Your Highness, we have deliberated. It is no small task that you ask us, and I'm sure you know that. Being a veteran of wars yourself, being a champion of the people, and
A hero.
a hero by no small means. Thank you. The task you set before us, we accept. My dear friend Gloriosa handles contracts for our company. We will be under the watch, supervision, and guidance of the throne, but we do request autonomy in our dealings day to day. We request sufficient supplies for any of the necessary excursions we have to incur. We are adding a threat rider, should we say. As the threat increases, we may ask for more of the power the throne might bring to bear. But even more interestingly, if I may be so bold, we may need foreign help in the long run. And so we are requesting, as part of our commission, that we be recognized as ambassadors of Dawn's Harbor to the other free peoples of Utharia.
You know, think it's really in your favor that Queen Calliope is not feeling well today, and she couldn't join us. I admire your boldness, sir. And although I'm probably going to catch quite the earful for it later, granted.
Your Grace. Candor between bards, you were always my favorite royal.
Thank you.
Well, with that, I believe our dear friend Gloriosa has a agreement for our commission. We also request a small division of the guard escort the Lady Talia as she departs from our city and returns to her own people to prepare them in their own efforts against the slavers on our continent.
That won't be necessary, Robin. I'll be staying in the city for a while longer, Your Majesty. I will send a message.
Could you also please stay in contact and share the information that you have learned in your investigations?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Thank you.
Then with that, I relinquish your most royal gracious ear to instead lend it to my dearest friend Sobus. Sobus, take your instructions to heart.
What?
You are a temporary executioner
Oh,
of
yeah.
any and all slavers that have been captured.
Yes. Yes, your ladyship. Yeah. Yes. What? What? Can? What do? What?
Well, I
do-
have
Mm,
I have sent the current slaver back to his chambers to let him sweat on the fact that he will be executed. And he's not going to slip out of it this time. So come back tomorrow morning at dawn and you'll get to kill him publicly.
of course, if your ladyship wishes it. However,
If you'd prefer to do so in private, that's completely up to your discretion.
Oh, no. I public, private doesn't matter to me as long as he gets dead. However, may I guard his cell personally?
Absolutely.
Right. Just overnight. Doesn't have to start right now. I just makes me nervous. Makes me nervous.
Absolutely. And, you know, to be perfectly honest, although executions are supposed to happen at dawn, it's not that far past right now. I wouldn't really say anything if he'd go ahead and take care of him today. We could just say it happened tomorrow morning and wasn't public.
With the most obvious wink. Yes, your ladyship.
Excellent. You are, after all, temporary executioner of all slavers.
Yeah, and I just looked at the rest of the party, and don't you all forget it.
Not even for a moment.
And yeah, just give the just not edified bow, just the sloppiest bow you've ever seen.
Thank you, Ambassador Sobus.
Thank you, your ladyship.
Ambassador Lunas.
A cookie?
Yes, I would. That's actually what I was about to ask you. My wife has not stopped talking about them.
Here you go, your royalnesses.
Thank you.
Apparently, none of us know how to talk to royals.
Yeah.
Well, I think that is probably as good a spot as any to break for the halfway point here.
Oh, thank God.
So I'm going to go ahead and extend another huge thank you to our guests who gave us their morning and their talent and skill to come on and talk with our group and be here for some very exciting and interesting events that I tell you, I lettered in chess 4 years in high school and I had not even a clue where this was going. I had like 3 or 4 possibilities that I was pretty sure was not one of them. Just yeet it out the door.
That's
It's
how it
all
goes.
just, yep, completely not where I expected this to go or how it expected to go. And that is the wonder of getting to do this sort of story, is having all of the extra minds participate in it and shape it with their own actions as well. And I think it's probably why it's my favorite kind of storytelling, is this collaborative story. Retta, would you please take your bows and tell us where we can find you? I know that Celine has put your Twitter link in the chat already.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. As well as on Twitter, although I'm not very active, I kind of go back and forth. Sometimes I post, sometimes I don't. You can also find me on the Loot and Dagger podcast and the Stellar Arcanum podcast, soon to be returning, I hope, after our quite long COVID hiatus.
All right. And Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah B. Strange. You can find me around the interwebs, mostly on Twitter at Sarah B. Strange. I float around so much that it's best to just find me there and see where I pop up next.
All right. And of course, Sarah, at the very least, is also in the Chaotic Tiefling Discord, which is a group of wonderful people. All of the various and sundry Chaotic Tiefling shows have folks in there. Surprise Party, What Streams May Come, so on and so forth. So it is absolutely worth popping in if you haven't already. It really is a wonderful bunch. We are going to go ahead and take our break. We're going to call it 12 minutes and be back at noon 30 EST.
But that's 3 hours from now.
EST. EST.
There we go. There we go.
All right.
No
Time
naps for
zones are
you,
hard.
Lucas.
Yep. See you all in a bit.
Bye.
Back. Okay.
Yeah, they got nominated for the
Audio.
Do we have audio? Oh, we have
Apparently.
audio. We
Oh,
have
no!
audio.
I
No
hope-
spoilers. No spoilers.
Uh-oh.
Got it, goodbye.
Nobody say that to them.
Okay.
Nope. Lips are sealed.
You heard nothing. Wrong lever,
All
Crump.
the giggles, Nat. All the giggles, Nat.
Okay.
Why do we even have that lever?
We have sound back. Give me just 1 second, and everybody will be right in the right boxes.
Perfect.
I am so sorry. Good.
Still
Fine,
all of us.
Bigby,
I
you're
should
fine.
be saying things like,
You
"Oh,
you
great."
heard
Robin,
nothing,
Yeah,
Celine.
just continue as normal. Everybody will eventually be in the correct box.
Robin, please stop putting ideas in Sovis's head.
But I'm too big for my own box. I want bigger box.
What was that?
Well, that is
I don't know.
that is just too bad.
Raising anyone? No. Okay. Are we even doing phrasing anymore?
Not with you in here.
I almost got to DM. Look at that.
Oh.
DM spot for a minute, and now I'm queen. Honey,
Oh,
God.
you
We're
need
all
the crown.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say it.
Okay.
There we go.
Woo!
Thank you, Nate. We love you.
I'm just going to
Vicky.
go ahead and throw out there, folks, that we do
We
not
love you,
give-
Nate.
we do not give Big B Nate as much credit as he deserves. He is learning all of this on the fly. He is doing all of it on the fly. And even when there are technical difficulties that I would have absolutely just thrown up my hands and gone, well, I guess we're canceling today because clearly it's not going to work. Nate muscles through all of it and gets it done and gets us working. And honestly, I couldn't ask for
Magical.
somebody better. It's really fantastic.
And
Magical.
I am several years
Mr.
older because of it.
Man.
Everybody should.
I
I
go-
mean, between that and Phasmophobia, we're just going to go ahead and get you to
Dude,
get you a
I'm-
couple of extra cat lives. It's the only way
Yeah.
you're going to make it.
All hail the
Yes.
mighty Mr. Hand.
everybody sub to Bixby's channel.
Shut
please.
up.
No. We will not.
Wait,
Thank
I
you.
can do it. I can do a shout out command. Hang on, I'm a mod in
Oh,
here.
There
too.
we go.
That's right.
Give Bigby some love.
There we go. Celine's on it. See?
All right.
We're gonna
Look at
spam
that.
the
Can
chat
we-
with
let's
shout
get
out
on
for-
with it. Get on with it. In the words
Alright.
of Monty
Alright.
Python, get on with it.
Get on with it.
All right, and now for
Okay,
something
focus.
completely different. We're going to go ahead and pick up our next bit of scene in the Cross Keys as the gang has retired for the early brunch time period, and Sobus will be coming in shortly thereafter. And we will go ahead from there.
I imagine that after this morning, the whole party is just kind of sitting at the table
Quiet.
quietly. Just
Yeah.
everyone's like, there's maybe the break in the silence of sipping a drink every now and again.
Oh,
But we're-
almost definitely got a cider or two in front of her.
I feel like there's also probably the post-church nap vibe going on, like that you would normally get on Sundays. Like, okay, it's time for nap.
So how long are you in town, Talia?
Until I need to move on. I don't really have a set schedule right now. I'm just sort of traveling as the wind takes me, as it were.
Fair.
Do you have a place to stay, or do you
Oh,
want to stay with
yes.
us?
No, I'm staying in an inn. That's actually where you can find me if you need me. It's place the Broken Scale.
Okay.
Nice place. Good pie. Was Drodar the only one whose radar picked you up? Radar. Look at that Utharian parlance that I just used. I'm sorry for game breaking right there, but is Drodar the only one who had scouts looking for you?
As far as I know, because he was the leader of that encampment, I didn't notice if there were perhaps seconds in command.
Just making sure that no one else would make another attempt.
He said that there was a group of them that sailed off when he got captured. Do we know what ship they were on and where they were headed? I think it's possible it's even in the logs.
That would be fairly simple to find out. Robin, didn't you meet somebody at that tavern? You were talking to somebody that had the logs? Had some of the information on
That's
Drogo's
right.
ship.
He did have the manifest, the trade manifest. We could track him back down. He didn't seem to know much more than. No, he did know what ship Drodar was sailing on. He would have at least the manifest. That would be a good place to start. But then, of course, that might put us on path with the thrice-blooded scourge again. Who, now that I think about it, would not be a bad contact to have. She seemed to also have grievance with Drotar, so in at least partly common cause. But this, we just received commission and blessing from the Queen. Do we want to throw in with pirates this soon?
If you do,
well,
you can leave me out of
particular
it.
pirate preys on mostly dragon ships, so probably, yeah, that would be a good, since they obviously would know how to fight dragon forces.
At least the underlings, sure.
We
I
gotta
would
start
keep it
somewhere.
quiet that we're under commission of the Queen. Be, I imagine, a good way to make them lose trust with us.
Well, we don't have to tell them, right?
That's
No.
fair. That's very fair.
They're
Building a
pirates, they don't
network.
need to know everything.
Building a network's not a bad long-term strategy.
And so she's going to look directly at Lunas. So we're not going to say anything. Okay?
Okay.
I just know how free you are with information sometimes. Just want to make sure that you don't share too much and get us killed.
Oh, Moonchild will be fine. I think we're going to have a long talk with Sobi.
Out of game. Is he back yet?
Is he back yet?
But we'll have to have that talk potentially in the morning because, of course, it could be that long before he even rejoins us.
True.
This is dawn, right? Or what time is it?
This is about afternoon. We are
You're muted,
early.
Strike.
You're muted, Strike. Hey, you're muted.
Hey,
I'll put up a poll for myself later. Probably noonish, give or take.
All right.
All right.
So we could undertake this dock investigation without Sobi, but it would be, and that might help with the stealth or intrigue manner of it. But of course, when we do get our lovable lug back, we'll need to have a long talk with him about keeping our ambassadorship under wraps.
So I have an idea. You sort of had a bar fight in the middle of that.
I was just going to mention that. I don't think Robin and I can use that disguise again.
I don't think so, but we
blown a
had
little.
our elf, she was not there, and I was outside dealing with a well-placed but poorly walked on trap. So I'm thinking that maybe me and Alma could go and see if we can find out more about those manifests that you saw while you guys speak to Sobis, and then we meet back up once we have some information.
You know
I
what,
mean-
Glory? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I mean, Glorious, I think somebody saw you in that bar when you put them on the air.
Yes, but it's less likely than somebody recognizing the rich couple that was actually a couple of adventurers. That
True.
I don't think we'll be able to get away with that one again.
Our
Not
cover.
Well,
there,
I
at
never
least.
went into the bar. I was stuck outside the whole time.
So as long as you don't run into any more of the thrice-blooded Scourge's crew, you should be fine, because I believe it was one of her sailors that you trussed up. But Glory, if this is the way, the docks are your hometown. The docks are your place of it's a place where you planted your roots. If you want to take this trip down to the docks, that is fine. But I am very keen on seeing Alma undercover.
Wait, I can do this. And I'm just gonna turn to Gloriosa. Gloriosa, do you mind if I, I at least change the color of your hair?
Well,
So you're not, yeah. So nobody can recognize you more.
what are you gonna change it to?
I don't know. Whatever color you like.
Red?
You're already red.
I like it. Okay.
Another color.
It doesn't help with the recognizability, dear.
How about green, teal, black, blue?
Just do almond first. I want to see how you do with almond first, and then I'll let you touch my hair.
I can
Oh,
only
you
do
don't
it
trust
once.
him?
What did you say, Robo? I mean, Lunas?
I can only do it once and for an hour.
What if I wear a hat?
Okay, you don't want me to change your hair. That's fine.
No,
Alma?
no. It's okay. All right, it's okay. Why don't you make it blonde?
That's what I was thinking. It'd be a stark enough difference.
Okay, blonde it is. And you send my tiny little stars, and it just floats around with Gloriosa's hair, and it's turned to blonde using prestidigitation. Can I do that actually? It just
You know what? We'll go with it. It's minor enough. Like you're not quite going full on into alter self territory, so I'll let that fly.
all right. I'll do that. Prestidigitation.
Because yeah, alter self or change that sort of thing tends to be considerably more extreme than just hair color changes.
Yeah, it just says you make a color, a small mark or a symbol appear on an object or a surface for 1 hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, if she starts running a marathon or whipping her hair around like she's in a metal music video, then that might like disrupt the illusion somewhat. But
Yeah.
I think short of that, it should be just fine.
Yeah, I think that that looks. I don't know, and I hand you a mirror, so Gloriosa looks at it, looks at herself. What do you think?
Well, it's definitely not red.
I used to do that. I used to do that with my parents. Oh no, my parents. I haven't sent any messages to them. Oh my god, they're gonna kill me! And I'll just run to the postal office, or I don't know, to send.
There are absolutely carriers and couriers that will send messages all over the place.
And I actually cast Expeditious Retreat on myself, so I go even faster.
My goodness.
And I just draw the constellation of a Pegasus, and tiny wings appear on my boots, and I just run for it.
Oh my god, I'm dead.
I've seen it. Oh, my parents.
Does he do that often?
There's just a dust cloud in Luna's shape just hanging out briefly around the table before it poofs into the air.
Luna's is Luna's. You get used to it.
I suppose. Right.
The cookies make up for a lot.
All right. Well, so
Well,
then you
Well, we
two.
only have an hour, so I guess we should.
and I'll point out, not to rain on your parade. This seems to be an investigation. Gloria Gloriosa would love to take over. I can join in. It will be a simple disguise cell. So, who are we becoming as we go to the docks looking for the lost ship of Drotar?
I would prefer to stay myself, but if necessary.
Staying, watching from a distance, either's fine, Talia, but Glory, Alma, you can't go looking for information without some kind of false identity. Please, who are you today?
Somebody who doesn't have red hair. That's all I am right now. But we also need somebody to talk to Sobis too, right? Like, are you gonna talk to Sobis since you're the one who knows him the best, or are you gonna come with us?
Well, I'm sure you're right. But please, if you're going to go, do this right. Glory, anyone ask for your name? You are Alana Trimble. Take that name. It does not matter. You won't use it later. Alana Trimble.
Alana.
There you are. You are Alana. Make sure that no one knows Gloriosa and no one leads you back to us.
Do you enjoy giving lady companions entertaining names?
Please.
Margaret?
Please, that I am here for more than one specialty, and this is one of them.
Glad I haven't heard your pet names then.
Only with consent, dear. Only
So
with
Gloriosa has become very interested during this exchange, like in her in whatever's in front of her. She's like just pulling out a parchment and like with her pen just like writing on it, just like tracing over the letters that are already there.
Is this like she's doing something, or is she just not paying attention to what's happening?
Not looking at Robin is what she's doing.
Alma is going to look at Robin and say, are you done? Are you two done?
Well, do
With
you
what?
need a name, or do you have one for yourself?
Hit me with your best shot, Robin.
All right, then Rita Frost you are. Please go out into the world, find us that sweet information, lead us back to Drotar. Alana, Rita, I look forward to it.
All right. See you soon.
Please.
Come along, Alana.
Okay.
And we wait for Sobis. And are you proposing that the three of us go attempt to parley with the pirate?
You've said the magic words. But of course, that will depend on when Sobus returns. We may be here all night, Talia, I must say. I know you have somewhere to stay in town. You're at the Broken Scale, but I'm sure Helwas can set you up with either Alma or Gloriosa's rooms temporarily if they end up being out all night as well. But honestly, I don't want to go chasing up a pirate without our own gladiator.
So you're asking me to stay for the night then?
Only as expedients for the job at hand, and only at your good pleasure.
Then it seems it would be most expedient if we were in the same room. That way you didn't have to worry if Alma or Gloriosa came back.
Dear, I like the way you think. Let's talk strategy. Exactly how does one parlay with a pirate. I just realized we have been left completely alone in this tavern. Like for a minute, I still thought Lunez in my head was sitting at the table, but nope, he's off to the post office. So how does one parlay with a pirate?
Very, very carefully. To be fully frank, I dislike pirates as a matter of principle. As a merchant, I dislike. Am not terribly fond of this plan, but I will help where I can.
Of course, and we are more than excited for your help. So, let's see. We'll be going in with Sobus, and at least I can disguise myself. The ladies of our company will be finding out news of Drotar's ship, but for us, finding where the thrice-blooded scourge has gone off to might be completely different. They tend to like being off the books when they dock.
I'm sure. Well then, we check the dock lists, and we find where there's a boat where there's not supposed to be one.
As a merchant, you should have some, what's the word that they use? Privateering connections, those who more or less hunt pirates.
I might know some people. It'll be hard to track them down. I don't believe they're in this area. Most of my contacts are on the other side of the island.
All right, very good.
But I can ask around.
All right, well then, perhaps it's best that you do your digging to find where the Thrice Blood Scourge might be. And if we have a rather strong dragonborn in our company, we might be able to pass as two sailors looking for a vessel.
I believe that could work.
Which could lead us back to knowledge about the Scourge. Now that just asks, where does Lunas factor into this plan?
He most likely should stay with us.
Of course. I wouldn't say no, but if you're applying your connections, and Sobus and I are sailors for hire, a navigator. Perfect.
That would do perfectly.
Our star child. Of course. So.
Robin?
Yeah, yes?
Well, Finn, you would actually know this, but Lunas is not a good liar at all.
Oh, yes. Both Finn and Robin know this. Okay, but Robin's prepared to train. Robin's prepared to train Lunas in the deception for this matter. So, well, okay. So then the task before us is to make sure that we can depart possibly first thing in the morning. I don't want to count on Sobus arriving sooner, and training Lunas to act before then, so that he can join our crew of adventurers. But Robin looks over his shoulder, looks around a moment. He leans forward and he holds his hands out for Talia, as if asking to take her hands across the table.
She does.
Okay. Talia, lovely vision that you are. I could not be more thankful that if there was a damsel in need of saving, that you were the one we found in the cart on the road the other day. However, can you keep a secret?
I can.
as much as I would love to provide you, let's say, room and board for the night, I must decline. I would, under all other circumstances, trust me, love to have you in my bed. At present, I may not be in my bed come evening. Like I said, please don't tell the company.
You have my word.
Don't take me wrong. Lovely woman. And were I unengaged for the evening, I would take you in a manly fashion. However, depending on the business of the ladies at the dock, I am possibly engaged for the evening.
And it's at this point that you hear the front door of the inn slam
Oh,
open.
thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Robin drops Talia's hands and scoots back, grabs his drink, and tries to make the most instant, relaxed, we weren't talking about anything pose, and just, Sobi!
Talia's a lot slower to pull back, and she goes, a rain check then.
You look over and you see Sobis just covered in blood, gore, and like kind of breathing heavy. Helwis, I need a bath.
Are you all right?
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, Helwis, I'll take care of it. Helwis, we're going to need your largest tub filled out back and a flagon of ale. The largest you've got ready for him, and know any good rest, healing, or sleep spells, Talia?
I am a healer.
Be ready with those when we return. And Robin will take off his jacket, leave it at the a table, roll up his sleeves, and walk over to him. Come on, buddy. Come on. Let's go out back for a minute. Because obviously Sobis has just been through a lot. He obviously did what he needed to do, but Robin's just going to like gently lead him out back where Helwis is preparing the bath.
Yep. I follow, not saying anything.
And Talia is left just sitting at the table.
Well, if Lunas would like to come back, this is an option for that.
All right. Lunas comes back, out of breath. So, I fear my mom getting mad at me more than I fear 5 dragons. So, sorry about that.
That is fair. That is fair.
They just left you here alone?
Just now. Sobis is back.
Sobis is back?
Yes.
And he goes
Robin,
before you finish.
wait. Okay. All right. All right. I'll drink alone, I suppose.
Poor Talia. Shut down.
You want to hang out? No. Okay. All right. Cool.
I mean, that sort of thing can really damage a girl's confidence if you leave it alone too long.
Oh, I don't think anything could get to Talia's confidence.
I suppose that's fair. So why don't we go ahead and cut over to the docks where Alma and Gloriosa are trying to track down an accountant, for lack of a better term.
So, like, in the Did we just leave straight from the inn? So I don't know how disguised I am in like my dress and like bright blonde hair.
I assume that you had time to get changed before you actually left the inn, at least into more regular clothes.
Yeah, hopefully. Okay, so I'm going to lead Alma back to. Do I remember which inn we were? Which tavern?
There's
we were
really
at?
only one tavern in that area of the docks. Isn't a ton that is down there, as that area of the docks is the most recently built, and so it's a little outside and south of where the previous docks, the original docks are. The docks ward has had to expand quite a bit, that district, just to keep up with shipping and everything else. So that has been um, a particular expansion of it, and so there's really only the one big tavern there.
Okay, so I'll lead Alma to the tavern where we absolutely did not trap somebody at the front door, and if anyone tells you that, they're lying. And kind of start there, since I mean the dude seemed to work there, I think, from the description I got.
Yes. Well, he works in and around that area, so he often works out of that location.
Okay. So going off of Robin's description and what glimpse I saw of him during the almost fight, I'm gonna see if we can find him there, or ask a server, like maybe, have you seen a guy like yay tall, dark hair with eyes and.
You're looking for someone with dark hair and eyes. Two eyes or just one?
What description did Robin give me? Out of game.
All right, if I recall correctly, this is going to be Finn's talking out of game for just a moment. If I recall correctly, the dock worker in question, the accountant in question, was a dwarf.
Yeah, he worked on the wharf. He was a dwarf. He had a relatively short beard for dwarves.
Okay.
And dark hair, and he did definitely have eyes.
Yes, and at the time he was carrying a large book of manifests, and if I'm correct in the description, some very thick spectacles.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're looking for a dwarf who keeps track of ships as they come and go. Glasses,
Did Gloriosa give Alma the description on their way over?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Could I use passive perception to see if I just spot him?
Why don't you give me a proper perception?
All right, proper perception.
Should I do that too? I'm going to do that too.
Yeah, go ahead and give that too. And then let me know what you got.
I got a 21.
Dirty 20.
All right. He's in the corner. It's a darker corner, and he seems to be nursing a drink as opposed to working on paperwork. So there's not like an extra candle or lantern set up on it. So it was easy enough to miss him on the second. But as you glance around, he's not tough to spot in the corner.
Okay, so like mid talking to one of the servers, I'm gonna hit my get a nudge from Alma and see in the corner, and then just be like, you know what, never mind, thank you very much, bye.
You want to just saunter up to him and sit down?
I'm pretty sure every server in the world has had that instance of, we're looking for my friend, we're trying to meet them, they look like, oh, there they are. Hey, sorry, we'll just go.
I'm pretty decent at intimidation. We can just sit down and bully him into telling him what we want to hear, because I don't want to be here any longer than we need to be.
I'll just follow Alma.
So we're gonna just sit down. What's the guy's name out of game?
I don't think we know.
Or do we know?
Yeah, I don't think anybody got his name.
Nobody got his name. It's not in my it's not in my notes. So
We never
that means
did.
it
We
doesn't exist.
did. Everything went down so fast. Robin just only said basically hello to him, and then the fighting.
All right, so Alma's gonna saunter up, take her hood down, straighten her shirt just a little bit, sit down, take Gloria's hand, and pull her down with her. This seat taken for me and my friend.
He kind of blinks as his passive perception is not very good, and he did not notice you until you showed up. Sure.
Hear tell that you come in and out of Don's Harbor quite a bit.
Well, sometimes I'm generally working the different warehouses down here, but I mean, one advantage of working for shipping companies is that you can generally catch a ride wherever you need to go.
Well, I've seen you around. What's your name?
Jaswick.
Jaswick. It's nice to meet you. I'm Rita, and this is Alana. And you look kind of lonely, so we thought we would just sit down and say hi, since we have seen you in passing and wanted to get to know you just a little better.
He seems it is the exact sort of discomfort that comes from the nerd being approached by the two cheerleaders. There's just enough of that something is off here and I don't know what it is, but if I ask about it, this is going to stop, and I don't think that's what I really want. So I'm just going to assume whatever comes is we're just going to go from there. So he sort of smiles and nods awkwardly. Would you two like a drink?
Why, yes, I would love one. Alana, would you want one too?
Yes, please. I would like some. Do they have wine here? I would like some wine.
Yeah, they've got a couple of good wines that just came in.
What's your favorite?
I stick to ale myself. I think my father would probably be disappointed in me if I drank wine.
Oh.
You know what, Jeswick? I'll have what you're drinking.
It's a little stronger than a lot of things. Are you sure?
Kind of narrows her eyes at him.
Sure. Let me get you one of those. And he sort of waves over the waiter. Can we get two more of these, please? On my tab. And the wait staff nods and he walks back over to the bar to get a couple more mugs. And Jaswick takes a long drink of his.
So, Jeswick, tell me, what brings you to town this time?
Well, at the moment, I'm between shipments. We just sent out probably a dozen ships west and two more to the south, so just waiting for some of them to come back.
What are you shipping?
Just about everything. From here, we generally ship metals and ore and gems from Lumia, and herbs and poultices and other medicinal things from Nibiru. Some food from the chancel, although most of it won't stay long enough on the ships to be worth shipping west. And then coming in from the west, all sorts of things, trade goods, some spices. Every now and again, we'll get shipments of some of the rarer metals that are out there that don't come natively on Utharia, so things like Electrum.
Out of game. Have they been delivered their drinks yet?
Yes, they just arrived.
All right. So she picks up her drink and she just kind of twirls her finger around the rim. So you would know basically the comings and goings at the harbor, yes?
Well, yeah, that's pretty much my job.
What can you tell me about a ship that hightailed it out of here a few days ago?
Well, there were a couple actually. Was there a specific one you were wondering about?
Either one.
Well, I mean, the Kindness just took off. They're probably gonna make at least another run or two out to the west and back. Depends on what they find. The other two were cargo ships carrying. Hang on, when he pulls out a book, places it in front of him, and starts flipping through. And both of you have a high enough passive perception that you notice that there are way too many ships on this log for it to be just the ones he's keeping track of professionally. He seems like he's the sort of person that is literally writing down every single ship that goes in and out just to keep track of it, just in case.
She's gonna lay her hand on top of his and just like drag her finger down his hand. These are a lot of ships. A little more than what I would expect. And our sleepy little harbor.
I'm gonna just try to sneakily like read the page upside down. Do you want me to roll for that?
No, you can absolutely do it.
Okay.
There are a half a dozen ships that show on the page having left. The Kindness is listed on there, although it has no cargo listed. It's just listed as the Kindness. The other ships are listed with differing cargoes, mostly metals, gems, and there's one actually that appears to be just lumber. Meanwhile, poor Jesuit, his brain obviously skips when Alma's hand lays on his, and he's not. It takes him a good half a second to get back to where he was thinking for a second. Well, it's kind of a hobby. I keep track of all of the ones that are going in and out. That way, if there's one that seems like it's not carrying full loads all the time, I can possibly reach out and see if they have space for other cargo or if they're looking for more stuff. I've managed to probably get 5 or 10 ships just extra filled that way.
She's gonna then take her hand and kind of enclose it around the side of his palm. Not too tight, but not too loose.
Okay.
And just so you would know if she's gonna be bold at this one. So you would know if any of these would be carrying not legal goods too, right?
I mean, I generally don't write that part down.
She
but
tightens her grip just a wee bit.
I mean, I know it's not hard to tell.
Would
I
you
mean,
tell me what the
what?
Kindness was carrying? Because I don't see anything written down there.
Oh, well, sure. That's the thrice-blooded Scourge's ship,
Oh.
so that she can kill them with kindness.
She's
So
gonna loosen her
at that-
hand and sit back and take a drink of her drink real quick.
So at that mention of the thrice-blooded scourge, like Gloriosa was kind of looking sidelong at Alma, like probably pretty distracted, and then like kind of looks right over at the name of it, and just kind of turns her attention back to Dude Man Guy.
She's gonna pull the top of her shirt down just a wee bit more and lean forward just a little bit. Is there anything else you think I need to know about some of these ships, Jesuit?
I mean, that one likes to carry magical goods, which are generally not supposed to get exported. That one carries animals and brings some back, and that's caused some problems in the past. Um, and that ship has scurvy, like all of them. They're horribly, horribly ill, but they refuse to have anything to do with fruit, and there's just nothing to be done about that. So we just try and not go near that one.
You're rambling, Jeswick.
Sorry, was there something specific you were looking for?
There is, but I don't know if we can talk about it here. It's very crowded. Is there someplace quiet that the three of us could go to speak?
Sure. I think there's a back room we could probably borrow if they don't mind too much.
I don't think they'll mind. Lead the way.
Jesuit stands up and almost falls over when he does, but catches himself on the table just before he actually tumbles. Um,
I'm gonna slide over and like see if I can wrap my arm in his arm.
yeah, it's not hard. He's
Help him up, help him along,
yeah.
help him walk.
And he'll sort of lead into a back room. The bartender just kind of waves him back there, as he's a regular and spends a fair bit of money. So
And the Venus flytrap slowly closes.
it's not that slow.
So Almost is going to continue with the with the role that she's on. Kind of throw her hair back behind her shoulders and walk closer to Jeswick, pushing him a little bit closer towards the wall. I have a very serious question for you, Jeswick. And I can't ask this question out in public. It's too sensitive a topic.
Sure. What did you need to know?
And I need you to be completely honest with me and tell me everything. Shall I make an intimidation check?
I think this is technically closer to persuasion, but I'll let you use either one.
Okay. Just because I have... No, actually, no, persuasion's higher.
Then yeah, go with persuasion.
All right, so I'm gonna make a persuasion check for him, on him. And it's a 26.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you rolled pretty well on that one.
She's gonna put one hand against the wall behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Put one finger right here in the small of his throat, right where his collarbones meet.
Yep.
And say, you wouldn't know anything about slave ships now, would you? And if you do, you're going to tell me everything I want to know, right?
He flushes a little bit and looks down and goes, well, most of those ships won't come to Dawn's Harbor. They go south to Sobran first. It's a lot easier to move in and out of that bay than it is to try and sneak around up here. It's really illegal to do that sort of stuff in Dawn's Harbor, but
we're aware it's illegal. However, there was a slaver that was just executed.
They executed him
tomorrow morning. So that means that there's some activity going on here in Dawn's Harbor. And since you know all the ins and outs of what's happening, I think you need to tell me and be truthful, don't you?
Well, I mean, the slavers will come up here. Sobran doesn't have much in the way of niceties, but the actual buying and selling is almost entirely down there.
Thank you, Jeswick. Does she believe what he's saying?
Give me an insight check.
Gloria, so you're gonna make one too?
Sure. I also am about to ask him a question when you're done chewing on him.
Oh, I'll...
Insight 6.
17.
I believe everything he says.
He is absolutely being as truthful as he knows. He's definitely not sure what exactly this conversation is or how it got to where he's at right now, but he hasn't been dishonest about anything. He's not leaving anything out, as far as you can tell.
She's going to keep her finger right there and just kind of right here on his collar and look to Gloriosa and say, Alana, do you have any questions for our dear friend here?
Glorious is kind of like looking between Alma and Jeswick and not really sure if she's jealous of him or not, but kind of jealous of him a little bit. And then she's gonna look at him and kind of ask after a second, like, do you know where they get their cargo that they sell in Sovereign? Do they get anything near here? Is there a pickup point?
Well, from what I'm given to understand, Soberin has a couple of markets. I know that they'll march people south because it's just on the edge of the desert. Most of that stuff doesn't go through Dawn's Harbor. They were actually kind of surprised. Most people figured, I mean, we knew what Drotar's business was, but he never did any of it anywhere near Dawn's Harbor before. It was really kind of surprising that he'd take a chance that way. It seemed kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Speaking of Drotar, do you know where his ship went, since you know all?
I mean, he generally rides on charters, but he came in on this one that left yesterday going back towards the west. And I think he was scheduled to be on this one, the Vindictive. It's probably won't leave until the morning. It normally carries, well, it'll carry just about any kind of trade goods you can find. I think their current cargo, he thinks for a moment. Yeah, I think they're just carrying raw ore this time. I don't think they managed to get a full hold's worth though. I think they were waiting to see if they could find some more and then take off, but I don't think they're going to be able to do so before the tide gets too bad.
Very good. Thank you for the information. She's going to take her finger and trace it down his forehead and down his nose, down his chin.
Yeah, his eyes kind of cross in the middle.
You wouldn't mind if I borrowed your book for a while, would you?
Well, I do kind of need it. I can make a copy of some of the stuff in it if you'd want.
No. I kind of want the original.
I'm going to start to sort of see if I can just slide it out of his hand while he's watching Alma.
She's going to get like really close to his face, like almost nose to nose. I think I want the original.
I guess I can work off the copy for a little bit.
Thank you, Jeswick. I appreciate all of your help today.
He manages to nod and sort of holds out the book.
Alana, you mind taking that, please?
Yeah, I'm going to slide it the rest of the way out of his hand.
You've been such a good help, Jeswick. I trust that I could rely on you in the future, should I need you.
I mean, I'm normally in and around here pretty often. You're always welcome in the tavern.
She takes her arm off the wall, takes the finger and traces it down his jaw. Thank you. Good boy. Turns to Alana and says, I think we have what we need today.
Yeah, I think we do, Rena.
Jeswick, until next time.
He manages a brief nod and is just kind of standing there dazed as you guys exit the room.
Once they get out of the tavern, she's going to turn to Glorios and say, if you tell Robin any of this, I swear to God, I will kill you.
Who's
I knew
Robin?
that's how that scene was going to end. I knew that was the last line that was going to be said in that whole scene.
What just happened?
Oh my god!
Exactly what I'm asking. Like,
Mechanic!
Alma, what was that?
I'm just so proud. I'm just so proud.
Oh my
No,
god!
like in character, Gloriosa is like, Alma, what was that?
Out of game. I mean, when you got a charisma of 20 and you want shit done, you use the boobs to do it.
Yeah, apparently you do. I mean, those were not the only guns you brought to the fight, but you brought every gun to the fight. Oh, that was amazing.
Okay.
My goodness.
Back in game.
Oh,
great
shit.
job. It looks like we have our destination.
I'm gonna just like hold the book kind of under my arm and just still kind of dazed, like kind of wander back toward the actually should we check out the kindness first? Or should we go grab everyone?
So the kindness has sailed off for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So if that
Never
makes your
mind.
decision a little easier.
I take it back. I take it all back. Okay. So, okay, as we're walking, I'm actually going to take the book from under my arm, like once we're a little bit away from the tavern, and kind of start like flipping through it and like kind of looking at the comings and goings of the Vindictive, and see what, if there's like any pattern or kind of what is in the book about Drodar's ship, and also what's in the book about the kindness. Like I'm looking for those two names.
So the kindness is literally just comings and goings. It doesn't list anything about cargo or anything of the sort. It's literally just docked, arrived, departed, arrived, departed. It seems to basically go out for 2 or 3 weeks at a time and then come back. But sometimes it's back sooner, sometimes it's back later. Piracy is an uncertain sort of revenue stream, so sometimes you find somebody quickly and sometimes you don't. As far as the ship Drotar is in, it appears to be as much of a charter as anything else. They carry regular goods. There's not tonnage left over for slaves or anything of that sort. It looks like he just happens to catch a ride on a trading ship that is regularly going back and forth between. As best as the records seem to show, at least.
Is there any ships, or are there any ships that are regularly headed for Sobran? Or is that not listed as a destination in the book?
Not listed as a destination in the book.
Okay. Are any destinations listed that aren't familiar? Like, or is it all a bunch of like standard...
Most of it is ports in the Western Isles, in the Dragon Isles. So a lot of them are repeated, but they're probably not ones that Gloriosa is super familiar with.
Okay. I think that's all the questions I have for now, but we're gonna probably go back to the crossed keys and see how Talia's holding up.
Well, you guys don't even know that Sobus is back or that the deed is done yet. You guys left before that.
Yeah, you guys headed out early. So we can have you guys return back to the crossed keys and be there as Sobus is getting cleaned up.
You come in and Talia's just like sitting at the table, like with the drink, just kind of like.
And with
Meanwhile,
Lunas, right?
No, Lunas.
No, Luna's noped out. Luna's is gone too.
Well, and when you come in, you see Talia at the table, but also
Robin's coat, right?
well, Robin's coat is at the table next to Talia, and you can see over in the fight pit, Sobus has gotten all washed up, but he's made a little like bed of sand for himself in like the sand of the pit.
Oh, okay.
And Robin is playing his lute on like sitting on the rail of the arena, just like kind of playing his lute, like Buddy took his bath. Buddy had his drink. Buddy's down, and Robin is just like giving Sobus his wind down time. He's going into some Sobus needs some serious aftercare after everything that he went through today. So that is exactly what Robin is doing. Is just he's playing. Go ahead.
Robin asking about the healing for Sobus or for himself after bath time?
For himself.
Okay.
He was worried that in fact before you guys got back, like filling in this, Robin needed his broken arm healed because in the middle of washing off Sobus was still coming down off that rage energy and kind of did a little snap. So Robin got his arm broken when Sobus bit him during the bath, but Robin was completely prepared for that. Came in, got healed, got his boy to sleep, and so Robin is just like playing just a very soft kind of lullaby on his lute while Sobus sleeps this off.
Like a large child.
So she did have to throw a cure wounds on him.
Yes, she threw a cure wounds on on Robin because he got his arm chomped.
Okay.
So as soon as Gloriosa sees that, she's gonna hand the book to Alma and then go over and sort of sit beside and like kind of put her arm around like Robin's midsection while he plays, like not getting in the way of his arms, but like sort of rubbing his back a little bit and just sitting there with Sobus and Robin.
Yeah, Robin looks over at Glory when she comes over to, rub his back and everything, and he nods and says, yeah, he did it. He went ahead and did it. And so
Sobus is out, by the way. Like
gone.
Dragon snores filling the common room and literally nobody is saying anything.
Yeah. There are not a ton of people. It's early afternoon. There's not a ton of people in the Cross Keys common room at the moment. But
also, to be fair, this is probably like a common occurrence.
This
isn't the first time.
Sobus passing out in the pit is like a normal thing.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't do it on fight night, Helwis is generally okay.
The fighting pit is outside, right?
Oh no!
No, it's inside.
It's inside. Okay, but we do have like a lot of windows and places.
Yeah, it's a big space.
Okay, so Lunas, he's outside, and he's trying to find a big bird, something that I don't know, kind of looks like a hawk or something.
Yeah, there are falcons and hawks and other raptors that are in and around.
All right, so I'll just gesture to that falcon, and I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna draw the constellation of a fox, and I'm gonna cast as a ritual, speak with animals, and I'm just gonna say to the falcon, "Hello, friend. Would you do me a favor?" And with Druidcraft, he's gonna create this same flower that Lunas gave Sobus a couple days ago. And would you do me a favor and would you put this on that person? And I point to Sobus. When he wakes up, would you give this to him, please?
The bird sort of nods and picks up the flower and will sit in a perch near one of the windows, looking down at the fighting pit.
Thank you, friend. And I'll just give him a piece of a cookie.
And even the bird, that generally is a meat eater only, likes the cookie.
Of course.
Everyone likes the cookies, guys. So once everyone's come in, Alma, I'm guessing, went to sit down at the table with Talia. All right, so we're all in there except for Lunas, who's still, round outside.
Yeah, there's a back area that's open and open to the nature areas. If you look on the map, there's that sort of back room where Lunas is often.
All right, well, Robin kind of slows down his playing for a moment, looking at Sobus, making sure he's good and asleep. He's going to stay asleep.
Does not move.
All right. He flicks his lute, engaging the same enchantment as before, tucks it away, or carries it back to his jacket, which is still on the table. Tucks it away in his jacket and sits down across from Alma. And okay, so it appears that we'll need to wait for morning on Sobus. He's done a lot today. However, we were going to try to find where exactly the Thrice Blood Scourge had gone off to. And so we're, Talia, Sobus, Lunas, and I will depart for that mission in the morning. And you're more than welcome to come along unless you still have more information to find at the docks. How was the first outing?
I know where the Scourge went.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
But you were tracking Drotar. How'd you?
She's gonna lean back in her chair just a little bit, still feeling a little bit, cocky from what just happened. They sailed on the Kindness. They are no longer in Dawn's Harbor.
And you,
Glory, would you like to show them the fruits of our labors?
I absolutely
Gonna
would.
smirk at Robin and just kind of grin just a little bit.
So Glorious is gonna take the book back and kind of glance around a little bit, but like is way too excited to actually look around them, like just sort of goes through the motions and then like kind of lays it on the table for everyone to be able to see, and kind of flip to the later pages and kind of show them like, okay, so the Kindness went out, here's when it went out. The one that Drotar was scheduled to be on is this one here. It's the Vindictive. And supposedly they don't bring any actual she's gonna kind of glance at Sobis and then back at everyone and be like, cargo doesn't really come through Dawn's Harbor as much, but the people do, so there's that. Anyway, so this is the ship that we maybe should look into, is the Vindictive.
Well, Robin, stop. He looks at the book. You lifted.
I stole it.
You lifted a dock worker's.
I stole it.
Log.
It wasn't
How'd you
anything to
get
do with
it?
Alma.
You.
What?
She didn't do anything.
He stops dead as soon as she said that didn't have anything to do with Alma. He stops dead.
Alma's gonna look at Glory.
Slow pan to Alma with his eyes. What did you do?
No, I stole it.
What's from
On
who?
the game. Does Robin have a
is
drink in front of
this?
him right now?
I mean, he left his drink to go take care of Sobus, so the drink is back on the table still.
She's gonna grab his drink. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything.
I said I stole it. It's all me.
From who? Whose is this?
That's on a need to know basis, and right now you don't need to know.
Robin points under the table where Alma can't see him. And he's pointing at Gloriosa. Casts message. I need this whole story later.
I'm gonna think back like, I can't, she'll kill me.
That tells me everything I need to know.
I'm under duress.
And then Robin sits back and says, all right, fair enough.
All you need to know is that we've got the information that we need, and it looks like Sovereign is where we need to end up.
Then it seems that tomorrow morning, there's no more He glances over at Sobus again. There's no more trash to take out. And there's no more leads that you've left us to follow, apparently. So, tomorrow morning, we chase slavers.
Well, this will be entertaining.
Glorios is going to kind of glance across the table at Alma and then realize that she never fixed her shirt and just be like,
All right, so
Right.
Robin's. Did Robin clock that one? Passive perception 14. Tell me if that was like an obvious enough thing that Robin picked up on, because
give me a regular perception.
All right,
I am
regular
rolling
perception.
as well.
I want to say Robin picked up on that, but
I mean,
I will
don't
probably
think
pick up
Gloria's
on
the
it.
best liar, honestly. Y'all, like,
Robin rolled a 13 on it, but
What's your bonus?
Do I need to roll perception to see if they catch on?
that's plus the bonus. I got roll 20 working for me now.
Gotcha.
do I need to roll, like, sleight of hand to see if I accidentally did it really subtly?
Sure. We'll go with that.
Oh my god.
And what did Talia get?
She got it.
Gloriosa beat the perception roll.
My sleight of hand was 14.
There
I
we
think
go.
that's the
Just
best
enough.
roll I've rolled so
Just
far.
enough.
I definitely got it.
Well,
Talia notices, but Robin won't.
Robin is distracted too much by the book that's in our possession with just so much information, and the new heading for the morning. And
One more thing, Robin, and
yes,
that we need to make sure that we keep an eye on is when the Vindictive set sail. We don't need to sit on this one. That's the slaver ship that's leaving in the morning.
it leaves
In the morning.
In the
from
morning
Dawn's
with the
Harbor.
tide.
From Sobran.
from
No,
Sobra.
they're in Dawn's Harbor.
Oh, they're in Dawn's Harbor. Sorry.
They sail west tomorrow morning. They've been waiting, hoping to fill more of the base of the more of the words, the hold of the ship. There's my words. They were hoping to fill more of the hold with goods, and they've waited long enough, and they're headed out.
That's
So
that
since they're
asshole's
leaving-
ship.
Then
We need to be there.
before the dawn, there's going to be
Tonight.
there's going to be
Night mission
tonight.
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 I don't want to give them any chance of our little friend giving any leads.
I stole it.
Good job, Gloriosa. And your hair looks back red. It's red again.
Thank the gods.
So
I missed you. I missed you, hair.
Then
how are we gonna get into that ship?
the dock workers work late into the evening. There's going to be preparations on that ship, especially if it's departing in the morning. There'll be preparations late.
They'll want to get some rest before they sail, though. They'll all want to rest one more time on dry land, maybe. I mean, there might be guards.
There's a midnight check on the dock. If we wait until an hour later, 1 o'clock, that would give us the least amount of eyes on the dock we could try to infiltrate. If that's what you're suggesting, Alma.
She was playing with her hair, but she looks up and says, "Yeah, that," because she's noticed the ends of them are starting to change colors. That's fine.
Then if we're going to be at the docks 1 o'clock. We need to prepare. We need to rest. I'll take care of Sobus when he wakes up. For now, everyone gear up and get whatever sleep you can. Then Robin will turn to Talia and say, so, about that room and board, care to join me? And he, again, he's pointing under the table with his message to try to make sure the rest don't know he's casting it. And he casts message to Talia and says, please follow me along on this. Please play along. I need some help.
She just the very quiet little nod, and then, oh, if you insist.
Oh, love. I'll do much more than insist.
I'm
Ladies
sure you
and
will.
gentlemen, if you
Robin.
don't mind, there is much to do before a nightly raid. So he holds out his hand for Talia. He stands up, walks around the table to Talia and holds out his hand.
Takes it.
He helps her up out of the chair. The lovely lady and I kindly take our leave, and Robin will lead her upstairs.
Talia like winks at the group before she goes.
Nice.
Super sus.
It's me.
Just hear aloud.
I'm gonna find the cloak that Heloise gave to Sobus first session. I think it was first session, to go to the palace, and sort of lay it over Sobus like a blanket before going up to make preparations.
You put it on him, and like a child with its blanket just cuddles up with it.
And I'm just gonna lay besides Silvis, just waiting for him to wake up.
Are we fast forwarding to when Sobus wakes up?
Yes, let's fast forward to when Sobus wakes up.
Okay, go ahead. Do that then.
All right.
I was going to play one more thing out.
Oh, well then please.
Oh God.
As soon as Robin gets Talia
Just
up to the
TOS. That's
Yes.
all I'm asking.
Yes. As soon as Robin gets Talia up to the room, he slams the door behind him. Okay, here's the deal.
Okay.
You and I are going to sleep together here tonight. Not in reality. I'm very, very sorry. In every other situation, yes. In 9 times out of 10, where this scenario plays out, I would not be leaving throughout the window until dawn. However, I need everyone to think I was here until we go. So,
An
you
alibi.
and I are having a delightful evening. Agreed?
Oh, agreed. As long as the rain check stands.
We will check for rain. Absolutely, darling. Let's, for a much drier or wetter day, we will
Preferably
check.
wetter.
Yes, absolutely. However, for the evening, we were together and it was fantastic.
I won't
And
shatter
Robin's-
your reputation.
And Robin starts hastily getting gear together.
If I may ask what you're doing?
You may, but I decline.
Very well. And she just fucking plops herself on the bed, starts like taking off some of the parts of armor.
Robin pauses and goes, nope, not staying, not staying, not staying. Goes back to packing.
You're muted, but
All fair.
Okay.
We're good. That's it.
okay.
There you go, DM.
All right, Sobis.
Yep. I wake up. I assume I roll over onto Robogoblin. Or onto Lunas. Sorry. Wrong reality.
Sobis.
What?
Hi, Sobis.
Huh. Hello. Why
Are
are you sleeping next to me?
I was just taking care of you.
Oh. Alright. Oh, and I noticed the cloak. Well, thank you
That
for
was
this.
that was Gloriosa, actually.
Alright. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
And how are you feeling?
Better. I didn't think I would. I don't like killing. I don't like it. But it felt better knowing that what I did to him, he did much worse to others. That made me feel better about it. Plus, he opened his stupid mouth and started using big words, and that made me really angry, and yeah. But he's gone now.
Does that really make you feel better to do the thing to them?
Anything's long and hard about it. It sort of. It's hard. It's hard to explain. Whenever I was forced to do these things, it felt bad because I didn't have a choice. This time I did, and it still wasn't. I didn't enjoy it. It didn't make me happy, but I didn't feel an overwhelming wave of guilt like I normally do. And so I was happy about that. So
I understand.
yeah. So I wouldn't say like it was good, but it wasn't bad.
Your feelings are totally valid. But Sobis, I just want you to know that you don't have to do the things you don't want to. Not anymore.
Yeah. I know. I know. Yeah. As long as I'm with you guys, I'm not scared. I told you all that the other day. I don't want to be scared anymore, and when I'm with you all, I'm not. By the way, where's Robin?
He's upstairs with Talia.
Right. I'll be right back.
Okay.
And I start walking upstairs.
Does Talia hear him coming?
Give me a perception check.
And wait,
is Sobis being quiet on purpose, or is he just walking up the stairs?
About what time is it? How long has passed? Like, would Robin potentially have already absconded out the window, or?
Oh yeah, no. This is probably an hour or two after the two of you went up to Flagrante Delecto window.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Good. Just making sure. I didn't know if I was in the room still.
I rolled a 21, so I think I hear him.
Oh yeah, you definitely hear Sobis coming upstairs.
I mean, he has one mode, so
Yeah. There's no sneaking.
So she like hears him and is like, Sobis, and I am not going to make. She starts making sounds.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
And like
So-
she's like on the bed because she's just kind of like she was just kind of chilling out, so she starts like trying to rock the bed.
Yep.
Just-
Yep.
Yep.
I get it. Copy
I'm
that.
sorry.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. So Sobis gets about to the end of the hall and is like, "Oh, try again later then. And just walks back downstairs. He knows the drill.
What did she say
Okay.
about his tongue? Like what?
Yeah, he goes back downstairs. And comes back to Lunas. Robin is otherwise engaged. So I'll talk to him later. But what did I miss? Did we do anything? Did we kill anyone else?
Yeah, we find out that we need to go to a ship where and I just tell them all the things I heard.
You tell me about Sobrin?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Wait.
I think I'm still downstairs.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'm still downstairs, so I can fill in the gaps.
Okay. As soon as you mention Sobrin, and this is Nate asking, are we planning on going to Sobrin?
It sounds like they are, yes.
Okay. Cool.
It was not on my list of assumed destinations, but apparently that's where the group is headed.
Yeah, mine either. Yeah. All right. Well.
Road trip.
Where do I start with this?
What's wrong?
Sobrin and I. That's where I was taken.
That's
and so
where
and given my name.
Well, we don't have to go there right away. Our first stop is going to be the Vindictive right here.
Yeah. I kind of
But-
thought we were gonna root out slave people.
She's gonna put her hand on his arm again, because apparently that's her favorite thing to do to Sobus,
Sobus just
and do
melts.
like little scritches. We don't have to go there right away, and it doesn't have to be right now. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's find out what we can find out on the Vindictive, and where we go from there. It will probably be a destination that we go to.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and give you permission to not come if you don't want to. If it's too much, you don't have to come with us.
Oh no. That you may have misunderstood my reaction. I definitely.
Well, you kind of only have the face.
Yeah.
We only have the reaction.
We Dragonborn, we're not super expressive on the faces. It's kind of just teeth or no teeth.
She kind of scritches him on the schnoo right in between the nostrils.
He kind of just goes cross-eyed for a second.
Making all the cross eyes today.
Exactly. Yes, I definitely want to go. It's just, I don't want to go in blind. I kind of want to find out some stuff, because last time I was there, I was a child. Last time I was there, I was not Sobus. Last time I was there, I didn't have this, and I point to my brand.
So you scritch him on the schnoo again.
Yeah, that's sort of page not 1, but also not super later after 1 of my story. That's like towards the beginning, and there's a lot to unpack there. I like to suss out some slavers here and see if we can get some more information about Sobrin before I'm not. And his like blood starts to just trickle out of his nose as he's just thinking too much.
She's gonna take her other hand with her thumb and just wipe it across and just be like,
It's okay.
let's go and get these guys on the Vindictive and then see where it takes us.
Yeah.
Sound good?
All right.
Sobis,
I've got a headache.
Sobis, do you like the name Sobis?
That's a lot. Wow. That's a big question. I didn't at first, but the name I had previously, that person doesn't exist anymore. So I don't know what else I'd be called.
You can be called whatever you want to be called.
Yeah. Tell you what.
I just
Tell you what. I'll think on it after this headache goes away. I can't.
okay.
I'm
And summon the pupper and just
tapping out.
cure wounds.
Yes, I think we all need a quick nap before tonight's excursion.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
I'm gonna go outside and do some push-ups or something. I don't know. I need to do some physical activity. Been sleeping all day.
Oh, did my falcon give him the flower? That's right.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
did
it
your
does.
falcon fly in?
Yeah.
Yep, flies in through the window.
What the fuck?
No, Sophie's not.
Just.
Sophie's not. And the episode ends.
And yep, that is where we're going to wrap it up with Sobis avoiding the dive from the falcon, and Luna is trying desperately not to eat the falcon.
As soon as you cast that spell, I was like, this is not going to go well.
I mean,
I don't know.
I almost fell out of my chair when you whacked the falcon.
Can we say the falcon just got stunned?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Please.
Oh man.
Just booped him really hard.
Yeah.
From now on, getting thonked or whacked really hard is just a Sobis boop.
Yes.
That's a Sobis boop right there.
Oh gosh.
Yep.
All
right.
right.
Are we calling it there?
Yep, I think that is as good a place as any to call it with a boop and not a whimper.
Oh.
I don't know.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this particular ride. It has been a really wonderful episode. I'm always so pleased at how well this cast and our guests are able to bring story, even in ways that surprise me. And it's always such a wonderful ride to be on. So thanks, everyone, for being here. Thank you to my cast. Thank you, Sarah, for filling in for us today. We really do appreciate that.
Always a blast.
We always love having you, Sarah.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm going to go around real quick and give everybody a chance to go ahead and plug their stuff real quick. And then we will go ahead and take off and raid. So let's start with Finn. Why don't you go first, since I forgot you last time?
You're fine. I am Finnegan Archer. You can find me on Twitter at Bloodhaven Bard. Link will be, or the handle will be in the chat. And you can find me mostly here on Chaotic Tiefling. This is where I do most of my online, or all of my streaming activities for sure at the moment. But the shows that I'm currently appearing in are What Streams May Come, which happens once a month, except we are taking the next month off. Our next show, which I co-host with the lovely Jessica Skellington, will be on June 12th, and we will be doing Henry V. So everyone interested in participating, please follow Chaotic Tiefling ATL and join the Chaotic Tiefling Discord. And other than that, I am appearing on What Streams May Come and right here, Utharian Legends, every other Sunday. Those are my current projects and the places you can currently find me. However, I will have some schedule openings soon, so if you have any idea of or any spaces at tables or on shows where you might want a guest bard, then this bard will be happy to guest. Thank you so much. Love you all, especially you.
All right, Robo.
Hey everybody, it's me, RoboGoblin, and you can find me at RoboGoblin or at TTRP Gifts and on Twitter. And I'm doing the TTRP Gifts Awards, and it's coming up, and just stay tuned for that.
Keep an eye
I'm
on
on.
the Twitter for more information.
Yeah, keep an eye on that, and I'll be doing some other stuff later on, which I'll announce later. And that's me.
All right, Jess.
Hi, I am Jessica Skellington. You can find me on the Twitters at Jessica Skell. Like with Finn, you can find me on What Streams May Come once a month. Again in June, doing Henry V here on Utharian Legends. And who knows, maybe somebody will snag me up for something else. I am open to ideas. So anyway, y'all be good to each other.
And Nate.
Yeah, you can find me on the Tweety at Bigby's Hand, all one word, or you can find me on Twitch at Bigby's_hand. Just made affiliate recently, and I'm kind of trying to get my feet under me so that there's not as many technical issues here on this show. So if you enjoy games and particularly scaring the crap out of Nate seems to be the theme recently, come join us for that. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday.
And Trieste.
I can be found on Twitter and Twitch under Blaze of Gloriosa. And I can also be found on the Chaotic Tiefling Discord channel, which is just an amazing channel that I love and makes me laugh like every day. So I think that's all I have. It's hilarious to watch Bigby get scared though. So second that one.
And Sarah.
Hello. I'm Sarah B. Strange. You can find me at Twitter at Sarah B. Strange. And I feel like a lot of the times when I am doing these kinds of things, I'm like, oh, I don't normally do this, but you know what? At this point, I'll do whatever. I can play a lot of different characters, including apparently a massive flirt. So, whatever your brand of nonsense that you want to happen, let me know, because I'm hoping to get into some more long-term campaigns, and if you need one-shot guests, anything like that, hit me up.
I'm just going to go ahead and throw out there that if you are looking to cast for a game, whether it is on or off stream, on or offline, you could do infinitely worse than having any of these incredibly skilled and talented people sitting at your table. They are regularly a joy and bring so much to the world and to everything. So really, if you have the opportunity, definitely give them a shot, because they will blow you away as they have me pretty much this entire time. And with that, we're going to go ahead and raid. Nate, have we got a target we are aiming at? I know a couple have been tossed into the Zoom.
I have no control over that, so.
Well then I will let our lovely Miss Barbara, is that? Yep, Sephi sounds like the plan. Perfect.
Yep.
That is who we are headed to. So go and give Persephoroth all of our love and affection. They are a wonderful variety streamer. She is fantastic, witty and funny, and just a lot of fun to watch. So stick with us. We'll be over there in just a moment. And thank you again for being here, everybody. It means the world to us that you want to share in these stories. We have a ton of fun bringing them to life, and even more so being able to share them with all of you. So thank you very much, and we will see you in 2 weeks, May the 2nd.
May the 2nd. All right. See you later, everybody.